I need to borrow your car right quick.
What kind of shit is that? Most people want to borrow sugar or even ketchup. You want to borrow my car? Hell no!
The phone call came at 2 a.m. Ice Cube picked up, groggy and confused. On the other end, a studio executive delivered news that would change everything. They were pulling the plug. 20 years of fighting, negotiating, and waiting, all for nothing. The final Friday movie was dead, but that's not where this story ends. In fact, it's barely the beginning. What you're about to discover will completely change how you see one of the most beloved comedies of all time. From secret feuds that tore the cast apart to tragic deaths that haunt the franchise. From a dinner that saved the movie to a $1 million mystery that confused fans for decades. Friday started as a fun idea. That's completely wrong. Ice Cube was furious. In the early 1990s, every movie about Black Los Angeles neighborhoods showed the one side of the story. Cube had even starred in Boys in the Hood, so he understood that world intimately. But here's what bothered him. Where were the stories about laughter?
Move now. Working over at the Fox Hill Mall?
Yeah, I get a discount on clothes and shit. You like?
Where were the memories of friends hanging out, talking trash, just enjoying life? Than Hollywood portrayed it. Sure, there was struggle, but there was also joy, humor, and community. They wanted to show the world that you could live in the hood and still have a good day. So Friday wasn't just a comedy, it was a mission, a statement. The people closest to him thought he'd lost his mind, asked him why a hardcore rapper was talking about good days at all. Making a comedy? That seemed like career suicide. But Cube had a response that silenced the critics. I'm a reality rapper, and reality includes good days too. He saw himself as more than the tough guy persona everyone expected. This movie was his chance to prove it, to show he could make people laugh just as hard as he made them think. The question was, would shoot in one location, minimal cast, bare bones budget? They even seriously considered filming the entire movie in black and white, just like Clerks, to save money on film stock and lighting. Can you imagine Friday in black and white? The entire cultural landscape would be different. For weeks, this was the plan.
Oh, see that shit?
That's monster fuck.
I didn't even get my turn, man.
Oh, man, fix that shit, man.
Two guys from South Central, ready to bet everything on a comedy script that studios would probably reject. Then, New Line Cinema calls just how deeply personal this script was. Craig getting fired on his day off for supposedly stealing boxes. That happened to Ice Cube's actual cousin who worked as a delivery driver. Word for word, that's how it went down. Based on a real person they knew growing up. Craig's father, played by John Witherspoon, inspired by real father figures in their neighborhood. Even smaller characters. The crackhead is all.
My neck in my back. Oh, I want 150,000.
The persistent Felicia. The drug dealer Big Worm. All had roots in real people from South Central. This wasn't just a movie. It was Ice Cube and DJ Pooh's lives, translated into comedy. Every joke, every interaction, every moment of tension came from something they'd actually witnessed or experienced. That's why the movie feels so authentic, because it is. Secret 5, the studio crushed. DJ Pooh's dream. Imagine writing a character based on your own life experiences, crafting every joke and mannerism, knowing exactly how this person would move and talk and react, and then being told you're not good enough to play the role. That's what happened to DJ Pooh. He'd always planned to play Smokey. The character was literally him. His stories, his personality, his experiences dealing weed and navigating neighborhood politics. Who could possibly play it better? Your own story taken away from you?
Yeah, it's just like it's both ours. We just keep it down at my house. Cool.
But here's the thing. Pooh could have been bitter. He could have fought against the production, undermined the casting process, or walked away entirely. Instead, he stayed supportive. He wanted the movie to succeed more than he wanted personal glory. That's the kind of integrity that made Friday possible. The list of potential actors was wild. Chris Rock was seriously considered. Imagine his sardonic, intellectual comedy style in that role. The entire energy would be different. Tommy Davidson was also in the running. His physical comedy and high energy could have worked, but it would have been a completely different character. But Ice Cube had seen someone else, a young comedian from Atlanta, performing on Def Comedy Jam. Wild, unpredictable energy.
Quit playing! Quit playing! Quit playing! Don't let me catch you, boy! Stop, man! Quit playing! Ah!
Street credibility mixed with genuine comedic talent. 1990, with nothing but dreams and determination. He was building a reputation on the comedy circuit, known for his manic energy and unique voice. Ice Cube was convinced this was their guy. He just had to prove it in the audition, but not for good reasons. Chris Tucker's first audition was, according to the casting director, horrible. He'd just come off the road from performing stand-up shows. He was exhausted, unfocused, and hadn't properly read the script. His performance was flat. The timing was off. The character that would make him famous was nowhere to be found. Ice Cube watched his perfect choice fall apart. The studio executives exchanged glances. This was not working. Most actors would have been dismissed right there. One chance, you blew it, goodbye. But something unusual happened that would change the course of cinema history.
Smell like outdoor.
Hey, wait a minute, man. I ain't gonna be supplying you. You gonna be talking about my shit.
Director F. Gary Gray saw something others missed. Behind the exhaustion and poor preparation, there was raw talent, a spark of genius waiting to emerge. He fought for Tucker, convincing the skeptical studio to give him one more shot. But Tucker needed help. He was frustrated, scared, and completely unprepared. That's when an unlikely hero says Felicia. She watched Chris Tucker struggling with the material and made a decision that would alter film history. She invited him to her house for dinner. Think about the courage that took. She was a new cast member herself, trying to secure her own place in the production. She had every reason to focus on her own performance, but she saw someone who needed help, and she reached out. According to Faison Love, who played Big Worm, Tucker was terrible. Angela Means spent the entire evening working with him. They went through scenes together. She helped him understand the rhythm of the dialogue, the soul of the character, the world they were creating. By the time the spaghetti was gone, she later said, Chris Tucker was smoky. He went back for his second audition and absolutely destroyed it. The transformation was complete. He got the part, and one of the greatest comedic performances of the 90s was born, over spaghetti, in someone's kitchen, because one actress cared enough to help. When you watch Friday, you're watching a script, but also a lot of magic that wasn't written down. Chris Tucker was given freedom to improvise, and he ran with it. Many of his most quotable moments were made up on the spot, spontaneous reactions that the camera happened to capture. The filmmakers recognized his genius and let him play. They'd film the scripted version, then let Tucker try variations.
Door.
All right, man.
Hey! You kids quit slamming my goddamn door! Damn!
Some of his wildest riffs made it into the final cut, creating moments that feel alive and unpredictable. This wasn't random improvisation. Tucker understood the character so deeply that his spontaneous choices always felt authentic to Smokey. That's the mark of true talent. The one that spawned countless memes and became part of everyday language came from Angela Means breaking the script. Here's what was supposed to happen. Felicia walks up to the porch, talks to Craig and Smokey, asks for something, gets rejected, and leaves. But Angela Means thought about her character. Who was Felicia really? She decided Felicia would be the type of person who completely invades your personal space, who doesn't understand boundaries. So without telling anyone her plan, she sat down right between Ice Cube and Chris Tucker on that porch. Watch the scene again. Tucker's reaction.
Fuck you, motherfucker! You think you slick? Gonna come over here and ask me for some money?
That shocked, irritated expression isn't acting. He was genuinely annoyed that she sat down between them. That authentic moment of surprise made the scene legendary. Ice Cube's dismissive, "Bye, Felicia," was the perfect response to Tucker's real frustration. The line that would echo through pop culture for decades came from a moment of genuine, unscripted irritating weed during filming. That's completely false. Despite playing characters who spend the entire movie getting high, Cube made a firm decision. He would stay completely sober during production. Why? Because this was his first movie as a producer, he had a tiny budget of less than $3 million and only 20 days to shoot. There was zero room for error. He needed to be sharp, focused.
That's like me asking you to use your air conditioner or something.
Well, Craig, I mean, if we had an air conditioner.
And ready to make critical decisions at any moment. Chris Tucker followed his lead. The professionalism on set was intense, even as they created comedy that looked effortless and spontaneous. Secret 12. The budget was insanely small. Less than $3 million to make an entire movie. 20 days to shoot everything. For context, most Hollywood comedies at that time cost $20 to $50 million to produce. Friday was made for a fraction of that, with a schedule that would terrify most filmmakers. Every decision had to be strategic. Every shot had to count. There were no second chances, no reshoots, no room for expensive mistakes. The tight constraints actually made the movie better. It forced creativity. It demanded efficiency. It created an intensity that translates on screen. Who would become major stars, though you might not notice them. A 13-year-old Megan Good played one of the kids on the street. Years later, she'd become a leading actress in films and television, and in a quick, uncredited appearance for talent in ways nobody predicted, was one of cinema's most memorable fathers. Later revealed something shocking about the production. According to him, the main actors on Friday were each paid about $5,000.
You better put some water on that shit, boy.
All right, I eat it.
Hey!
$5,000 for a movie that would gross over $27 million at the box office and become a cultural phenomenon worth hundreds of millions across its franchise. Witherspoon wasn't bitter about it. He understood it was a low-budget independent film, but it shows just how unlikely this success story really was. Nobody knew they were creating a classic. They were just trying to make a good movie. Movies were serious. They were about tragedy, violence, struggle, and pain. Friday proved you could set a comedy in the same neighborhoods and tell authentic stories were hilarious without being disrespectful. It opened doors for an entire generation of black comedies that followed. The Barbershop franchise, the Friday sequels, countless other films, they all owe a debt to what Ice Cube and this Smokey was gone. The dynamic duo was broken up. For years, nobody understood why Chris Tucker walked away from the role that made him a star. The mystery dominated conversations. Theories flew around, and the truth turned out to be more complicated than anyone imagined. Ice Cube's version of the story centered on money and religion.
I don't even talk with all the horses missing their hair around
Oh, here you go.
Too early. It's too early.
According to Cube, they offered Tucker somewhere between $10 to $12 million to return for the sequel. $12 million to reprise a character he'd already perfected. Tucker turned it down. Cube claimed it was because Tucker had become a devout Christian and no longer wanted to cuss or smoke weed on camera. Two of Smokey's defining